Today's everyone. Come on, 1992, back with another Marvel's Avengers build video and a DPS showcase video. Today we're going to be discussing the raid and how it's been, the new gear I've acquired, any specialty and mastery changes, my progression with my champion points, and then an overall look at the stats. This a similar video like this will be coming out for Kate Bishop as well. I plan to do a duo upload, so look for that. I will put the links down for each respective video for their old build videos in case anybody wants to compare and contrast things or has any questions about certain changes. So let's get into it. First thing we have is the major artifact, the Sacred Nornstone of Lethal Will. We're still running this because we want that extra damage buff to stack on top of the damage buff that we now have in our kit. I didn't have one before and I have one now. When it comes to minor artifacts, these things seem to be the best for raising whatever stat it is that you're looking for. Since these are triple mites, my melee rating shoots through the roof when these get upgraded. I look forward to Thursdays just for these things upgrades. If I can help it, I plan to never get rid of these two crystals, mainly because of that lightweight breaker, 11.3% light combo finisher damage, and that is a light combo finisher that I'm doing in all my videos where I'm big in spinning in circles as Kamala. So if you can, look at Maddie Cho's vendor. That's where I picked these up. She should still be selling them. I don't believe anything quite like a triple anything drops in the raid. It seems to be hybrid stats. To me, that's unappealing. Um, this is very much a straight melee build, and I'm sticking to it. I'm seeing some crazy numbers now. There was a DPS showcase video uploaded a few weeks ago where I hit over 1 million with battery damage with a light combo finisher alone, not counting the hits leading up. So, and this is only her. That was her before she was 160. So, imagine being 175 and what your light combo finisher will be doing. So, with the heroic piece of gear, because of the Red Room event, I stumbled upon the Tachyon's Howl, and I absolutely love this piece. Whenever I kill an enemy, I get a Tachyon Surge buff, and what that does is it ramps up your elemental damage. And as you know, like combo finishers is how we get into our elemental procs. So whenever I'm spitting in my embiggen state, if I happen to kill an ad, I will have a chance at getting a Tachyon Surge buff, which will make my next fight combo finisher hit harder because that gamma is getting ramped up by the Surge. Another cool thing is my light combo finishers give me a damage buff now as well. So it's even more rewarding to finish that combo whenever I'm spinning as Embiggen. Uh, this piece right here, the lightweight buff bands, was dropped in the open world. You can get this just about anywhere, any sort of hive, a priority mission, a vault. Just keep your eyes peeled. The main two perks on here that make it amazing is the damage buff acquisition. It's pretty easy, and the element that I'm getting, Gamma, seems to hit like a truck with melee. Absolutely love it. Um, when it comes to my range piece of gear, this one very much was from OLT, and I just grabbed it for melee rating, higher stats. I don't really use the PIM, but it is nice though because when you grab them, they almost instantaneously are fully pinned. So that's pretty cool for minions. For the defense piece, this is also another open world drop. You can get this just about anywhere. I believe I also had this in my last video. My main thing I grabbed this for again is the melee rating. The only perk I really like on here is the invulnerability when you're reviving somebody. If I happen to revive somebody near a boss, I can use that as a head start to my damage combo because you can't get interrupted or staggered when you're invulnerable, which is pretty nice because staggering ruins light combo finisher damage because light combo finishers typically are longer than the heavy combo ones. So, yeah, look out for this piece. Maybe if you need that invulnerability, if not, anything that'll raise your melee rating will do. The most crucial pieces are the lightweight buff bands. Again, these can be found anywhere. And the Tachyon's Howl, which is from the Red Room event. complete challenges as Miss Marvel, and it'll drop in your inventory. Um, so now we're at the part where we will move to her skills. For her specialties, the only thing that I have changed recently is Life Spark. I will occasionally throw this on whenever I'm in Discordant Sound in the last boss because I do not trust his cannon still. And just in case he does happen to shoot two or three of us, I will self res. So, no consequence. Anti wipe mechanics are always amazing. Down low has become my favorite way to do a high five, mainly because you can pin multiple people, and oftentimes you'll see me in my raid videos pushing enemies off a cliff, especially because it just takes time to burn them down, and we're just trying to focus on the boss, or you're just trying to get them out your face. Down low is pretty nice, and it's a one shot, so definitely run that. Applause is nice because it'll increase your chances by 60% to get intrinsic orbs if it kills. My ultimate, I'm still running Big Trouble for that extra 5 seconds. That's usually enough to get another combo off. Fist of Fate, still for the critical attack damage. Nothing changed there. For my masteries, the only thing I changed on this page was Heroic Energy Mastery. And I changed it from Air Combat Mastery. You can still use Air Combat Mastery if you want, especially if you do find yourself juggling enemies a lot in the air. Personally, I say you should try out Heroic Energy Mastery just because it helps you get into your ultimate or get your ultimate back faster. It even gives you your heals back faster. I feel like this is a win on offense and defense. You're supporting your team by getting those heals out there, especially if you have that Regalia piece, because that's giving damage buffs along with, the recovery over time that you might have and the instant heal. So definitely look at Heroic Energy Mastery because you're just building up your charge rate constantly by pummeling enemies, and you're doing that all the time with a melee build. So give that a shot. I've been very busy with champion points, especially because of this quadruple XP weekend. Once I finish out those last two 16s for my defense, I'm going to be done with champion points for Kamala. I have a hunch when the roadmap gets revealed that we might get some sort of champion point part two. Um, like some extra trees for combat damage. Like it'll be the same thing, just you can spec into more of it. Maybe not. That's why I'm going to be holding on to some excess points and not investing into my range damage and heroics because I don't count on those to hit hard and I don't need them to hit hard. That's the whole purpose of this build. I'm pretty sure there's some other players on the game who feel that way, that they filled out all the stats that they really use for utility and they don't really need the other however many champion points it is when you're filling up a column. So I think we might as well hold on to those just in case, because I do feel like with these games they're going to add another tree. I know they did that on Elder Scrolls. They'll add more for you so that you can keep specking into it. So hopefully we'll see something like that. If anybody needs a quick rundown of what is the most important things to grab as a full melee building character, you want to grab the melee damage boost, and then you want to hover over to crit chance and then crit damage. Once you've acquired all of these down to the 16th marker, you will notice your melee rating has increased a significant amount. After that, when it comes to utility, I would say stun and status now more than ever because in the Discordant Sound raid, the final boss has a status meter or a stun damage meter phase where you have to build it up pretty quickly or he's going to go back to being giant shooting his cannon to one-shot people. So grab this to help your teammates out with that stun damage. After that, heroic charge rate or perk chance would have to be next, especially if you're running any sort of damage buff or invulnerability or whatever perk you're looking forward to getting into as much as possible. Perk chance will let you have more control over that, so finish that category. Heroic charge rate's nice because for players like me who need their ultimate for some crazy burst damage, or even for fully Valor characters, 100% get your heroic charge rate done so that you can get into those abilities faster. The tank stuff I grabbed was more of an excessive thing just because I'm always in the fray. might as well uh, get some sort of damage resistance. I'm currently sitting at 1400 defense, and I can tell you I don't really get one tapped in the raid unless it's, the white mechanics, which is pretty cool. Now, granted, I am close to death when I get hit, but I have plenty enough reaction time to usually get out of it. So I think it's worth grabbing. One to show my entire hero stats. We now have 3,268 melee damage. Our perk chance is at 36.9%. I love that. It'd be cool if I could get that to 40, because then I'd be like, oh, your damage buff and your tachyon surge can really come back a lot faster. But 36.9% seems cool. And my ultimate is at 33.9%. Those are the main stats I look at, mainly because the ultimate is the big deal with this damage build. And the perk chance is just super important because those extra damage buff that you're stacking with this build, I guess you could say quadruple dipping my damage between the damage buff, the surge, the Nornstone, and then the embiggen state itself. So now we're going to roll into an actual demonstration of how to do the most standard combo to really get your damage ramped up, which is what you'll see me do typically in videos where I'm just embiggened and spamming square to get that light combo finisher off. Whenever you are smaller, however, if you're looking to get your damage buff off fast while you're ad clearing, you don't want to use your ultimate, you should jump and then do your combo in the air because it still counts as a light combo finisher. You can see her foot was green at the ending, so that's dealing gamma damage. That's a quick way to build up your element, and it's a quick way to get into your damage buff because it's a lot faster than going for the long-winded standing on the ground combo. So definitely do that mid-air attack to get that going. Alrighty. So what I like to start off doing is get my ult going, then activate my Nornstone of Lethal Will. The anti-stun going here. Then once you start spinning, now the Tachyon Surge is active. You just keep annihilating people once you're in this state. So as you can see, guys, it is pretty insane. The damage output you'll be putting towards the enemies. What I want to show you next is how the actual damage stat number looks whenever you pop all these damage buffs. That's what I meant to do before I got into the actual combo demonstration. So I'll go ahead and queue this up again so my artifact won't be on cooldown. But with just the damage buff, she is sitting at 6,000 whenever that procs. And then if I happen to use the Nornstone, I will be sitting at 8k melee rating. So click the sticks in. 8,044 melee rating. That is some pretty absurd melee damage. Whenever I'm like this and I can get a surge going because I dropped a minion, you can get some impressive battery damage going. And this is not counting buffs you can get from your teammates. So you can do some pretty crazy stuff with this. I'm hoping that by 175 she can hit 9,000 or 10k melee rating. Of course, I will let you all know what I get to as I continue upgrading this suit and looking for pieces that may raise my melee rating higher than it is now. But this is some very substantial damage that you're dealing when you're like this. I breeze through content like OLT included and the raid. Our fastest raid time right now is 54 minutes. I think it can be even faster, especially if I was running this character and we were going full all characters as DPS, and we're just focused up going in there. Um, there's a video that'll be coming out soon for an elite run. I will be running like this. My tank gear is currently at 158 or 159. I'll be running OLT to get some extra pieces to infuse. It's secondary now that I know my melee rating is dominant enough for me to survive in there pretty easy. So now I pretty much just always run the raids as DPS now. But I do still build my tank suit, and I will still be making tank videos as well. I just currently want to rush 175 as melee Miss Marvel, and whenever I hit a milestone that I think is decent enough for a tank upload, I will do that. Um, that's pretty much all for this video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Look out for that Kate Bishop Lethal Tempo ranged update video. That one will be dropping later on today, right next to this one. For all your Miss Marvel and Kate Bishop content, and soon maybe She-Hulk. I'm thinking about picking up a third character. I really want to play another one, and I don't know if I want to wait till September to play Captain Marvel. I was hoping she would get dropped earlier. But I do want to pick up a character as like my full Valor glass cannon character. So we'll see what happens.